Imagine farming sugarcane at Ngara. Yes, urban farming at its best. Hello and welcome back to KILIMO Diaries. I am your host Sandra Wahito, and let's see what we have here. Joining me today is Dr. Kennedy Ongaro, who does sugarcane farming right here at Ngara. Now I'll let him introduce himself to us so we can get to know more about him and sugarcane farming. Karibu.
Thank you so much. As you have heard, my name is Dr. Kennedy Ongaro. Currently, I'm a farmer, but on top of that, I'm a lecturer. I teach students at DStv University.
Yes.
Yes.
Amazing. So now we are here next to the sugarcane. That is a lot. And many people do not believe that you grow sugarcane at Ngara. So how did this all start?
It all started, I have the DNA of my dad. My dad is one of the best farmers in Kisii in the 60s, because he has even been rewarded by the Kenya Tea Development Authority for being the best tea farmer in those days, in the 60s.
Yes.
So my dad actually brought us in a very, very professional manner in terms of farming. She used to go with us to the farm in terms of picking the tea, pyrethrum, and even coffee. And she has kept on pumping that kind of a business idea to us, that the only way you can really sustain yourself beyond even your office work, you must have an agricultural activities that can supplement your income. And therefore, when I reached the parts of Kitui, when I had gone with my in-law to attend a funeral, so I was really impressed by the type of sugarcane that I really show along the roadside. And therefore, I had to come up with the cuttings and then started planting them here in Ngara. And that's how I picked up this particular agricultural activity in this particular area. Currently, I've extended the activities to Kajiado, where I'm looking forward to a very successful grape farming and also the papaya farming, which is going to lie on 40 acres of land.
Wow. Wow. Can't wait for that, Daktari. Now, you talked about varieties and the types. Which type are you growing right here on your farm?
This one is what we call the Sucram Edio.
Okay.
The Sucram Edio is one of the best in terms of the gestation period and more so the amount of juice that one sugar can give you, like the one that you can see on the other side.
Yes.
And not only the quick gestation period, but also the size, which means the bigger the size, the more the amount of juice that it can give you.
Yes. So approximately how long does it take to mature now into a
The
proper
maturity of sugarcane, it actually depends on the care in terms of from the initial stages of the planting process. And that will, if you have prepared the soil well, if you have gone deep in terms of the soil preparation, it will take 1 year and 1 month.
Okay.
Then you have a very good harvest. In fact, I remember even last year, the COVID outbreak was 2020 in terms of the month of March. I will show you the produce that is ready for harvesting. I entered into more sugarcane cultivation, which is ready for harvesting. It's a year plus, and the size is really amazing.
It's amazing, yes. We've seen one huge cane that Dr. has said will produce about 7 liters.
7 liters, and it's practical, and I will show you this.
Yes.
One sugarcane will give you 7 liters.
Yes. Okay. Now we get into the planting. You talked about cuttings, because many people would wonder, how is sugarcane really grown? So could you take us through the part where you've talked about the cuttings, going deep into the soil, and just the care? Do they need a lot of water? What kind of soil?
You must prepare yourself for this particular activity.
Okay.
If you are a good farmer, you must know the seasons of planting, particularly the rainy season. Prepare the ground, and as the rains come, then you have to plant them in a very professional manner, so that they can be able to come out in a very really mature manner in terms of the sprouting. Particularly when I previously, so like this particular cane here, you must be able to cut it in a very slanting manner, just like that. So then, like this one, then you are able to really plant it in a very slanting manner. So if you plant it in a very slanting manner, then you can see from these particular parts, then the young ones can come out. Along the joints, that is where the roots will sprout out. The roots will really come out and start now giving these particular buddings the energy to come out.
Okay, so we must make sure that sugarcane grow well during the rainy season. So you have
during
to
the
plant
rainy season.
before the rainy season.
And more so, if you don't want to really tamper with the produce, not necessarily that you have to plant this particular part of sugarcane. Now, once you have started harvesting, if you are a farmer, then you have to really cut this particular part. So if you are going to really sell the other part or make the juice out of it, then this is the part that you normally plant.
Oh,
this is the part that you plant,
okay,
which actually becomes very economical. The other part you sell, or you juice it, and then this is the one that you have to really put in the soil so that it can be able to grow during the rainy season. But to also ensure that you have to cut it in a very slanting manner so that it can really avoid the issues of rotting when there is a lot of water.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Dr. Now, when you started, how long has it been since you've done the sugarcane?
Oh, it is now 7 years since I started this particular activity. It is 7 years, and still counting. I'm expanding. I've now a lot of sugarcane, which I'm so grateful to the Vice Chancellor of DStv University, Professor Peter Ayiro, who actually gave me the opportunity to start a center which is actually a resource mobilization center in terms of income generation, so that we can be able to support the needy students within the university. We have so many students who are very needy, who come from disadvantaged families. So therefore, Professor Peter Hiro gave me that opportunity to start the center, and through that particular center, we have been able to see how the produce can be able to change the lives of the needy students within the university.
Yes. Probably some of the challenges you experienced in the 7 years in terms of growing the sugarcane, especially here in Ngara, where most people would not think sugarcane would survive or even be planted. What are some of the challenges you've experienced?
I cannot call it a challenge, but I can really call it an eye-opener. The challenges came in during the COVID-19 because the produce, once it is mature, it's supposed to be harvested and really be juiced, or you make the juice out of it. And that never came to be. And therefore, what I did with the ones which were over maturing, so I had to really cut them and start planting them in other corridors within the area. Number two, remember one thing, that sugarcane has no disease. There is no actually disease that is known to actually affect the sugarcane during the growth process. And therefore I cannot call it a challenge, because even the issues of theft, I have never seen this happening within the area. Even the children who come along during the holiday season, remember they have that particular opportunity to move around, and that's the time when they come and knock at my gate and say, "Ango, we need a sugarcane." The other thing is that remember, sugarcane is 100% alkaline. If you produce sugarcane juice and you don't actually store it in a very cold place, it becomes dark in color. 100% alkaline. And therefore, that's why they say always alkaline your body. When you alkaline your body, you get out, or you really get rid of the toxic substances from your body, which might also bring you some health challenges or problems.
Okay. Now, before we get into harvesting, we'll be taking a short break. We'll be right back. For those joining us, we are in Ngara with Dr. Kennedy Ongaro talking about urban sugarcane farming. And before the break, we're talking about planting of the sugarcanes, the benefits the sugarcanes have. And now, Daktari, we get into the harvesting. Probably you can take us through that, and then we come to this process where you have the sugarcane and he has a knife, and you tell us what this is all about.
Yes, in fact, you have to ensure that whatever you give as a produce to the market, to the consumers, it must be something very clean, the processes of choosing it and so on and so forth.
Okay.
I get disappointed to see people taking or squeezing the juice really without cleaning the sugarcane itself.
Yes.
Now, this sugarcane, the way it is, you can't choose it.
Yes.
You can't squeeze it.
Yes.
You can't put it into a machine to give you the juice. So what you have to do is to clean it. You have to clean it.
This is cleaning.
Yeah, this cleaning. There is a machine which I normally use.
Yes.
So by so doing, you are removing any outside impurities. So the impurities are the ones which might be containing the germs that we can. So once you have done it, then it's good for juicing it. It's a very easy activity.
Yeah.
And remember, in Kenya today, we want to be wealthy creators. We need to create employment opportunities for the youths.
Yes.
This is what the youths can do. So once you are done, the sugarcane is ready for juicing.
Just like this.
Yes, just like this one. So very clean for juicing, and therefore it doesn't have any impurity that can really contaminate the process or the juice.
Yes.
And remember, this is not ready now for even squeezing.
Really?
No, it is not. Then you have to chop it in a very slanting manner,
Yes.
and then you have again to dip it in water,
Clean water.
clean water,
Yes.
so that then from there you can start
The juicing
the juicing process.
Okay. So do you divide it in a certain format? Like now with this sugarcane like this, we slant it into smaller pieces
into
into
smaller
the machine?
pieces, which we will see later on
Okay.
how we will be doing it,
Okay.
so that in a very slanting manner, so that it can be able to fit into a machine when it is actually roaring over to really get the juice out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now speaking about the juice, how many liters can we get from a cane now like this?
One cane can give you, depending on the size, normally it is about the size.
Yes.
It ranges from 1 liter, 2 liters, 3 liters, 4 liters, and there is one that will give you 7 liters.
7 liters of
Yes,
sugarcane juice.
yes, yeah.
Wow.
7 liters, it is practical.
Yes.
For those doubting Thomases, they are always there.
Yes.
In fact, we will demonstrate later on that particular sugarcane,
Yes.
which is actually 15 feet. 15
Wow.
feet will give you 7 liters, and actually more.
Yeah.
Now, once we are entering into that particular process, we will be able to demonstrate and see how many liters we can get out of that.
You can get,
Yeah.
okay. In terms of, I believe you sell now your sugarcane juice.
Yes.
So in terms of the pricing, how much is a liter? If someone would want a liter of sugarcane juice, do you sell it in smaller portions? Yeah, take us through that point of cost.
Now, in terms of the selling of the sugarcane juice, one of the things that I'm doing is to promote the healthy benefits of sugarcane. One, two, I want to actually ensure that, as I had said before,
Yes.
the students who are disadvantaged from different families. I've said that before, and I will continue saying it until when it is done. I want to make it to set it in a way that the students can be able to consume,
Yes.
and or other users, so that it can be sold out to generate the income that we are going to ensure that the students are able to get the scholarships.
Definitely.
And the 250 ml, we are selling at 50 shillings. 50, just 50 shillings. And the 500 ml, we are selling 100 shillings.
100 shillings.
Yeah.
Very affordable.
Very
I must
affordable,
say,
very
especially
affordable.
because of the benefits.
Particularly if you go to other places, like the Taj Mall and many other places, the 300 ml or 250 ml, they sell it at 200 shillings. So it's actually 4 times what I'm selling.
Yes. Now, Dr. In the juice itself, do we just get the juice alone? Are there any mixtures we have? Because there's some people who put different ingredients inside the juice.
Now, I'd said before that sugarcane is 100% alkaline. If you don't put a preservative, what preservative? Not any other industrially produced preservative, but you use rime. Rime protects trees, the sugarcane trees from going bad. So we add only 2 things into this particular produce, to this sugarcane. We add only rime and ginger.
Lime and ginger.
Yeah, to give it the aroma, that the taste that you really need. So the rime protects it from actually turning the color, and therefore that is why it becomes very, very nice when you are taking it with those 2 ingredients. So we only use rime and ginger to spice it. No any other. We don't add water. We don't add water to the produce, or when we are producing the juice, we only squeeze it, add the ginger and the rime.
Now, Dr. when it comes to management, because you had talked to us earlier about the whole process and how it doesn't need much. What about now when the sugarcane is growing? Do we need much? Do we need to pay attention to it, or do we just leave it to grow? Are there some things we need to do to ensure the sugarcane is well mature and ready?
Yes, it is important that when the sugarcane is growing, you must ensure that you continue pruning it in terms of the outer cover, so that you give it space. Like for example, this one, again, you have to ensure that you have to tie it together, so that during the rainy season, because it will continue growing and it will continue putting up a lot of weight, it can actually fall. So therefore, you must be able to tie it so that it does not really fall during that particular period. On the same note, you have also to ensure that like this one, you have to continue removing the cover, the outer cover, so that it can continue growing to a level whereby until when the time when it will blossom, it will give some flowers.
Oh, really?
At the end of it, or yes.
Wow.
That will indicate that the sugarcane has now reached a particular level whereby it cannot continue growing beyond that. However, it will continue, actually growing even after it has given some flowers, because the flower will fall off and then it will now sprout, giving out other branches. Sugarcane have got branches. You need to know that it is not only trees that have got branches, but even sugarcane have got branches. Particularly if you can be able to look at this one. These are the branches. So the flower came out of this place. So it continued growing, beyond that. So those are the branches, and therefore it will continue. And therefore those are the 2 that you have to ensure that you really have to remove the cover in terms of pruning. And then the other thing you have to do is to ensure that you tie them together to ensure that they don't fall, so that they can continue. You support them so that they can continue growing.
Okay. Now, when it comes to sugarcane itself, when you're telling us it removes 7 liters, now there's sometimes that you go to a sugarcane teller or seller, and you eat a sugarcane that tastes bitter than the other one. Even with the juices, it tastes very different if you drink juice from a certain sugarcane place and a different one. What exactly are people doing?
It is because of the greed. Majority of Kenyans who are in business, they are really, the business ethics must be adhered to. Always be truthful to your customer. Be very genuine, be authentic. So most of the people who are in such a business, the sugarcane juice and other juices, what they do is to dilute those particular juices with water. Like the one I've said that which is going to produce more than 7 liters, because I've done it before and I know, is that we don't add any other ingredient other than the rime and the ginger. Now what other people do, they add water. So therefore that is why it is important that after the cleaning, you ensure that you don't add, if you want to give your customers quality juices, you should not add water, and therefore you must give it the way it is. And you must ensure that you clean it up, and also the storage. So wherever you take the juice and you don't really feel that taste, need to know that there is something wrong. And more so, it might be that the sugarcane that was harvested might not be at reached the stage of what? Maturity stage. So because of that desire for money, you want to get quick money, so that you can be able to move on. But it is important that the sugarcane that is being harvested must be very mature and must also go through the process of cleaning it, squeezing it, and ensuring that whatever you can't consume, that's what I always tell people. If you are in the juice industry and other products that you really deliver to the consumers, if you can't take it, if you can't drink it, if you can't eat it, don't give it to your customer. Because it really disgusts me when you see other people not following the process, particularly when they don't clean this particular sugarcane and then they squeeze it and then they sell it to the customer. It's really bad, and it is unethical for one to do that. Yes.
Definitely. I hope you have heard from Daktari himself about the whole process of basically growing sugarcane and the cleanliness around it. Now, Daktari, for those who would love to reach you in terms of getting some sugarcane juice, for those who want to start sugarcane farming, where can they get you? Any platform, your number, so they can be able to at least taste your amazing and genuine products?
They can reach me on 0721 560 937. Or they can come to Daystar University, which is my home for many years. Remember, when you talk about the prosperity of any country, you are talking about food security.
That's true.
And this is part and parcel of food security. And more so when you talk about the Millennium Development Goals, which were transitioned to Sustainable Development Goals. This is part and parcel of the MGDs and now SDGs.
Yes,
very, very important. And also the youths who are saying there is no employment. I have taught at the university for the last 22 years, but I love farming. The income from here is so enormous. So why can't they really do it? They say that whatever gets measured gets done. And it can be done.
And it can be done. Okay. So probably we can see it being squeezed.
Yes. Remember the 14 feet sugarcane that we measured. Seeing is what?
Believing.
So that is
this
what we have
product.
produced. This is the product. 5 liter. If you tell people that you have sugarcane that one can give you 5 liters, then they will say this is a liar in Ngara. But now you have seen it. We started the process of removing the outer cover. From that process, we are to cut it, we are to clean it, we have squeezed it here. This is one of the best machines imported from Vietnam, and we have gotten our 5 liters. And this is what we are telling the youths to do. Waache mambo ya ukunywaji hapo ya pombe na mihadarati, waingie kwa mambo ya biashara. Biashara na kilimo halisi.
Now that's it from us. Thank you for watching. Remember to catch us next week, same time but a different place, right here on Kilimo Diaries.